Yeah. Coffee Conversations with Greg J is on. How are you today? Doing all right? It's election day. Man, important time in the nation. I just wanted to get on here and, um, sip some coffee with you. Got my Columbus on coffee, listening to the news and getting everybody was getting prepared to get to the polls. If you haven't already, cast your ballot through the mail. Remember, today is election day, one of the most critical times in our country. Important races all over the country. Some people are saying, well, this is actually a fight for democracy. And I've been trying to analyze that discussion. What does that really, really mean? So if it doesn't go our way, then are certain people out there going to topple government, or what's the real gloom and doom of that message when we say this is a fight for democracy? Is the democracy really going anywhere? I mean, maybe it's a crossroads for good governance or bad, however you want to look at it. What does that really mean? Is it such gloom and doom? Certainly it's critical, right? I'm not minimizing the issues that are at hand. They're far and wide. I don't know about y'all, but that ballot is thick, boy. There's a lot of choices that we have to make and contemplate. We've been bombarded by text. We've been bombarded by commercial messages. You can even see a media savvy person, if you watch the programming of news shows or programming of shows, how the advertising has kind of taken over the time. It's like if you really sit there and watch the television, every 5 minutes they're going from programming out to advertising, and the advertising is these politicians all across the region pitching their case to us. There's a couple of them on there that are scary. Like when you listen to what they're talking about, you're like, wow, hey, you kind of scared me right now. And it's just an important time. Go out, eyes wide open, all across the nation. Here in Southern California, where we originate from, Long Beach, this important race for mayor. The current mayor is running for Congress, looking pretty good for that seat. But I think he leaves a legacy of innovation that folks, I guess, will just have to wait and see if that legacy of innovation can elevate to the next level, the next generation, the next chapter of the city. Looking across the state, Governor Newsom, all the way down, the whole administration, the cabinet is running for re-election. Congress people all across the region running for re-election. I see an Auntie Maxine. I heard that commercial pretty good, my friend, right there. Just so many people putting their hats in the ring to represent us, the people. We've seen a lot of shenanigans over the last couple of years, haven't we, politically? And it is certainly a turning point on this election day, 2022. Just think with your consciousness, and your conscience, right? It's an important time. I'm not some political pundit, some expert, other broadcasters out there. That's their area. I just look at lifestyle and life and culture from our perspective. And I just think that politically speaking, we have a propitious opportunity to strengthen community. I think the politicians that are out there that would represent our communities are well able. I think that we, as the people, just need to go out and vote and then participate in the process. That means showing up at meetings. This means writing letters. That means just being aware, generally aware of the issues that are facing our community. Sometimes we're walking around, we're so busy out here trying to get our grind on, go and get the bag and all this kind of stuff that we say in the community that we forget about, the important issues that are before us. Certainly the unhoused is an issue. Most of them look like us, everywhere, north, south, east, and west, right? And, we're wondering the scourge of, drugs, mental illness, police abuse. It's a lot to consider at this day and time. So your vote matters, right? It matters in how the legal system is adjudicated against our communities. I think that we do have a crossroads that we are as a community because we're wondering if we're liked. And what I have to say to that is it just goes all the more reason why you need to have stronger cooperation among our community. We want to definitely continue the spirit of coalition building. I think that is a proven track record of providing balance in our communities. I know there's the fight against gentrification, and I know that there's the fight of changing political bases and all of that whole thing. But I think the way that we are able to survive and stand, as we always have in this country, is more cooperative positioning. We got to cooperate with one another. We got to work with one another. We've got to dialogue. We've got to stimulate economic growth. Really, the justice is in the economics. And so, business development, support Black business. This is what we have to do. Businesses get out there, operate, contribute, turn back into your community. So a stronger financial base happens, and then a stronger community. Stay well. We're at the top of the list of a lot of diseases and medical issues and all of that. Go to the doctor. I've been going to the doctor here lately, and it's so far so good. I do have a couple of things that really trying to work out. But my heart is strong, my blood pressure, the cholesterol, all of the touch points are good. The numbers are good, as we say. But we want you too to be healthy out there and make sure that you take care of yourself. That dialysis thing is kind of scary, isn't it? That's the second time they brought that on the ballot, huh? I don't know how you feel about it, but pay attention to that. So let me just understand this. So the Indian casinos want to bring dice, so the crap tables in, the sports wagering and all of that into their casinos. And then, so wouldn't they be taking business from Las Vegas? I'm just saying, I don't know. Very interesting, and a lot of money spent in advertising against those propositions in California. Against and for the propositions in California. So I guess those are very important things for us to look at and study and understand. Certainly, again, the mayor's races all across Southern California are very, very important. And then when we turn our lens nationally, I was listening to the national news on this morning, and Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, they're already talking about a runoff. They're neck and neck. It's a race that flabbergasts me, to be honest with you. But, apparently Herschel Walker is saying something that somebody out there wants to hear. Not hearing a lot about Stacey Abrams, but I know this is going to be a close race for her. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you on another post, though, but this video I saw where Charlemagne the God was interviewing Killer Mike and a couple of other people, and they were talking about Teslin Figueroa, who I really like her bombastic political analysis. I've invited her to come to our show a couple of times, and she's going to do it. We just haven't been able to find the time to lock it in, but we certainly want to get her on to just, have some coffee and have conversations about what's happening out here in these political streets. But in that conversation, they were kind of wondering why popularity of Stacey Abrams had slipped among Black voters. And Killer Mike was explaining that the Governor Kemp had been meeting the Black community where they are. Somebody went in and told him, okay, this is how you connect with the Black people and these communities all across the state. And he's been doing so, and so poll numbers are one thing and actual votes are another thing, no doubt. But what's happening is it's a little closer than I think Miss Abrams wants it to be. And we'll see. We'll see what happens once we get to the end of the day, or maybe even tomorrow. I was hearing on the news, they were saying that perhaps, we won't know winners until tomorrow or even the day after. Mail-in votes are still coming in, and some races are very, 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 very close. It's an important time. The bottom line of it is, y'all, just, vote. It's important. This time is important. I've heard people say, my vote doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. No, what are you talking about? We need everybody to get out there. The lower the voter turnout, the more chances are that the person that you would hope to get in does not get in. Because I think a no vote is a vote for your opposition. I think if you are African American, certainly your right to vote was one of the hard fought triumphs of the movement. And so, in memory of our ancestors, vote. Right? That's what needs to happen in these days and time. Such a time as this. All eyes are on us all across the world, and that's the thing, so we want to see, how does democracy work? We want to have a voice in stabilizing the ship, because we in some rocky seas around here, aren't we? Yes. It's really, really an incredible time to be in America. It's a dangerous time, but it is a central time. Okay, so that's what we say. That's all I want to say to you. I'm good. We had the woman, Sister Kara James from the Planned Parenthood. She had a lot to say about Prop 1 and the women's reproductive rights issues. And I think what we're going to do is cue that up a little later and play it for you all, so you can just gain some perspective there. And then, maybe later on in the week on Thursday, we're going to come back and talk to you a little bit about what the results are. What were the results of election midterm 2022? Will we have Karen Bass for mayor or Rick Caruso? Will we have Rex Richardson or Susie Price? Who will be the mayor in Inglewood? Okay, come on. Who will be the mayor in Carson? All of these regions, right? Who will assume the leadership of the political machines that are in these various municipalities that make up the beautiful area known as Southern California? Across the land, who will be in Georgia, Florida? Will Biden have enough cooperative power to move things through Congress? Will his side dominate the halls of the House of Representatives and the Senate? I guess it's in your hands. That's really the deal. It's in your hands. Mm-hmm. Don't sleep on this one. Get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. That's all I got to say. I'll leave you listening to me. You can go out there, use this time, get in your car and go to the voting place. It's everywhere. Vote. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.